Have you guys counted how many back and forths we've done? I think we're at 6. Here's the back camera. We are on the road, so it didn't pull into that parking pad. Another speed bump. Let's see if it sees this one. Nope. Did not slow down at all for that one. I guess FSD doesn't realize this is strictly no parking. A gated driveway. We're on someone's property now. I don't know why it's going back around to take that long way. That doesn't make sense. That was a wild ride. This is beautiful Lake Travis in West Austin, Texas, and this is a Tesla Cybertruck running the very latest full self-driving version 14.2.1, and we're gonna hop inside. We are gonna take this thing through some of the most difficult streets in the entirety of Texas. We are in Texas Hill Country, and this area is known for crazy twists, turns, narrow lanes, blind corners, overgrown roadways, animals, deer, all kinds of craziness that happens in this area. So watch as we put the latest, very best version of Tesla's full self-driving to the craziest test that we possibly can. We're gonna throw everything at it, so let's get into it. Welcome to the Tesla Cybertruck. This truck here is running the latest full self-driving software. We're going to get into a kind of a funky test. So we right now are on the very west side of the greater Austin, Texas area, about, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes from the factory where this truck was manufactured. And we're up in the Texas Hill Country. We're going to go through some pretty crazy, kind of twisty, really twisty areas, but we want to be on the latest full self-driving software, which we are. This is version 14.2.1. So let's get on with it here. I have positioned us in front of this trash can. So let's see if the truck sees it. How does it negotiate around it? We're kind of in this side parking lot area. We're going to go down towards Lake Travis and negotiate through some of these subdivisions, really twisty, windy roads, a lot of blind corners, hills up, hills down, banked curves. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's hit the button and start self-driving. Let's go. Here we go. Now okay, went right into reverse. Interesting. So it did see the trash can. And we got a fire hydrant and a recycling thing. We got a retaining wall here. We are negotiating around that. Okay. And wow, it is very confident. We're on Mad Max and it says it is set up for street parking. Coming up to our first stop sign. So what I did here was I wanted to force it to drive along the lake here. So I have, let's see, is it going to go? There we go. There's a little golf cart that went by, but I've kind of set some waypoints to force the route along the edge of the lake here because it's not the most direct route, but it is the most twisty. So I wanted to take it through here. There are no lines painted on the road. So you can see that there are 0 lane markings and a lot of low-lying trees. So we've been hearing some complaints about leaves and things like that. So maybe we'll get a tree branch hanging down. Let's see how it goes. And we're going to let this thing chauffeur us around here. Here's our first hill dipping down towards the lake. You can see the lake out here, signaling left. Now this is a kind of a blind turn on the left here. You can't see too far because a lot of kind of shrubbery and things like that. Here's a car coming across here. And is it going to go? So it's sort of creeping up. Okay, here we go. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Just having a little soda water, stay refreshed while our big truck here, the Cybertruck, navigates through this area. This is, okay, this is interesting. We're coming up on some trucks that are pulled over here. We're now signaling to the left. A couple of trucks and a trailer. He's got his hazard lights on. That was great. The truck signaled and went around those workmen. That's great. So coming into a blind corner to the right. Yeah. These are really skinny roads. So we got a lane marking in the center now. We got a yellow line. And the truck is staying centered in its lane. That's good to see. There's some really funky ones coming up here. So I'm really curious to see what this thing does. So it's coming up to the first waypoint. It's signaling. All right, so let's just unsignal. Let's just see if it continues on. No, Okay, so it's trying to street park here. And now it's kind of getting confused because this is cobblestone. So it's sort of just kind of like half pulled over, put us in park. All right, that's okay. We are half in the lane. It did not pull off onto the parking pad completely. So maybe it just doesn't understand flagstone versus pavement. All right, let's go ahead and get back on the road here. That was interesting. It's signaling, pulling out. All right. Wow, it's eager going around these corners, yeah. Now this is saying 20 miles an hour is the suggested speed. We're doing 30. Now it is slowing down. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, okay. It's very human-like, and it is Mad Max. 22, and it was recommended 20. I mean, that's very human-like. Very human-like. No problem. Nice twisty S-curve there. Not too shabby. Very good. Let's get the camera up here. We've got a car parked on the side. And it just skims right by it. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem to get freaked out about stuff that's close to the edge of the road. I mean, it is tight. Really tight tolerances. It won't cross that yellow line, and that's interesting. There's a truck parked on the left. All right. Now, we have some overgrowth. You can kind of see here, these branches have overgrown the lane. And it rode the yellow line. We got a squirrel crossing the road. It made it across there, so that's fine. Another squirrel. And we're coming up to a right to go on a steep hill down. This is tight. This is tight. Wow. Gotta love that. That's four-wheel steering. It's just beautiful. Okay. Wow. There's a guy taking some photos of his house. All right. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Again, no road markings, so no lane lines painted here, and it's kind of, this is a much older area. This is called Old Lakeway, and it's a beautiful neighborhood, but there is like really kind of some treacherous turns and stuff. And as you can see, there is no lane markings. The road gets skinny, gets wide. There's weird places to park, kind of these little plateaus and stuff, because we're right into the hills here. Now there's a concrete park pad here. Let's see what the truck's going to do. Now it's kind of pulling over cautiously. That's a crazy steep driveway down. All right. So it's not attempting to go down the driveway. It's just pulled over and street parked sort of halfway. We are still sticking out on the road a fair bit. You can see here, well, yeah, maybe just the corner, just the half corner of the truck. All right, let's continue on. Signaling, and we're back on the road here. We're coming up, there's a Model Y parked on the side here, and some workmen coming around the corner here. Okay, took the center of the road, that's good. So we got the front camera pulled up here. Let's switch to the back. Okay. Yeah, not too shabby. We'll go back to the front here. All right, so this is a really sharp turn. Really sharp turn. Look at this hill. This is crazy. Beautiful. And it is going to signal right. Now, there's a pedestrian here. There's a pedestrian here. You can see right here. The truck, wow, that was interesting. I mean, she did get by, and I was ready to hit the brakes there. That was, I don't know if it was close, but it was, I was watching it. It was kind of close. So here we have some overgrowth into the lane. The truck is kind of going to the center a little bit. You got to watch because there's a lot of people that go for walks, you know, taking their dogs out or just getting some exercise on their own in this area. So it's really an area to be very attentive. A lot of blind curves in here and overgrowth over the roadway. So that was interesting. We went over the yellow line because those bushes had grown out over the road. So it's acknowledging that overgrowth. Here we got some branches here. Yeah, it missed it. So this is the corner here, guys. Right hand, tight turn, overgrowth into a hill. Wow, that was good. That was really, really good. So this is interesting. Really steep turn up to the right. That handled it. Wow, it stepped on it. Okay, we've got a parked vehicle with its doors open, some humans in their vehicle. That's good. Nice wide berth. Okay, he's waving thank you. Very good. Wow, this is tight in here, guys. Really tight. We got a pedestrian running on the left side here. And this lane is really freaking skinny. We got overgrowth. Okay. Man, it's great. I haven't heard any branches dragging the side of the vehicle. So that's a really good sign, but it's also showing you how close it gets. Okay, here we go. Where are we going? Oh, this is all right. It's trying to pull in this driveway. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, let's just not go any further. That's enough of that. We're not going to go up their driveway. Let's start self-driving. Let's see how it reverses out here, guys. We're on a steep incline, okay? Steep incline. I am watching, and it's turning out this way. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and let's see, where are we headed here? Interesting, it chose that route. I don't know why it's going back around to take that long way. That doesn't make sense. So I had to manually override that. We got a truck on our side of the road. Yeah, that is, I don't know why it did that. I wanted it to take, there's a really sharp turn back there. Interesting. So that was weird because it's now added, like, that's really strange. Okay, because it added time to our drive. Very odd. All right, so it looks like it's going to go down here, and it's headed down to a dead end. Okay, there's a dead end here, guys. This is a gated driveway. We're on someone's property now. We've driven onto someone's property. Let's see what the truck's going to do. We're just in their driveway. What are we doing here? Okay, we're turning. There's a big giant horse statue here. There is not much space here. We're not on the grass, but we're right at the edge. We're doing like a 100-point turn. You guys are seeing it here. Okay, oh, come on. This is hilarious. I mean, it's kind of doing it. Thank goodness for four-wheel steering. But we're doing kind of that Austin Powers back and forth scene right now, guys. We're Austin Powers smashing that cart in the hallway back and forth right now. This is hilarious. We did a little wipe, FSD wipe on the wiper. Have you guys counted how many back and forths we've done? I think we're at 6. Wow. Wow, that was something. I'll bet those folks are just watching. Look at this triangle. Well, we got turned around. We're headed back out the way that we were supposed to go. So, interesting. So it backed out of that driveway, turned in the wrong way, I guess. I don't know. But I did hit continue driving afterwards. So maybe I should have hit that earlier on. I don't know. But I've never been given that instruction, so I don't know. Oh, interesting. Okay. Whew, this is exciting. Wow. Wow. Overgrowth. Trash can, just a garbage day through here. Wow, look how skinny the lane is. It's really skinny. Yeah, this is a tricky area, and I was thinking about bringing the truck in here. I'm like, man, I've ridden through here on my bike. Oh, here we go. Tight curve. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that lane right there was wider than the truck. We had to go over the yellow line, otherwise we would have been in the mud with the right side. That's wild. Okay, here we go. This is a weird, really weird road. Look at this, guys. Here we go. Turning. It's checked all around, and we're going uphill to the left. Going up this little hill, or it's kind of a steep hill, but short drive to a stop sign. Okay, we've stopped. It's checked. Pulling out. Boy, that four-wheel steering is working overtime today. Very nice. Okay. Whew. Well, we're out on kind of a normal road here. We're headed down towards the Lakeway Marina. So, this is kind of more of a main drag. It looks like it's been repaved. We've got nice fresh lines here. And the road is actually going to split now into a divided road. We've got a center median This curves off to the right, and then we've got street parking up here. Interesting. Wow. Very nice. Whew, that part was tricky in there, guys. That was wild. So we're just headed down now. I want to see how this thing will handle the... see if it'll go down to the boat ramp, because it's really steep. It's gonna be funky. This is a cool test. All right, so that was a 4-way stop. That handled it beautifully. And we're into some tree cover here. We got some speed bumps. Let's see if it's gonna slow down. Yep, it saw that speed bump. Beautiful. Little bump. And another speed bump. Let's see if it sees this one. Nope, did not slow down at all for that one. All right, we're headed downhill. This is really kind of a funky area in here, guys. Little drainage thing it slowed down for. That was nice. Yeah, it's making its way through. Now there's some raised speed bumps coming up here. Let's see if it sees those. Yep. Okay, we're slowing down. Nice. Very nice. Yep. Beautifully done. Another set of speed bumps coming up. And it sees those as well. Good. Good. We're going to head down to the water here now. We're really pushing. I would never even try to take my Hardware 3 car in here on full self-driving. Not even close. Here we go, guys. This is crazy. You can see the pavement's all scraped up. We're going down the hill now. Down the hill to the marina. We've got vehicles parked here. And here's the lake. This is the boat launch straight ahead and kind of a little turnaround area. And it's searching for somewhere to park, it looks like. Yeah, okay. Interesting. And parked. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. Well, it took us here. Let's see what else we can do to push its buttons. All right, so we've got our destination put in. We're going to do another little run here along the coast, and we're going to kind of snake in and out of some of these tricky, twisty, old streets. We are sitting on the boat ramp right now at the Lake Travis Marina. We are, I don't know what angle we're at, but we are kind of leaned way back here, and we're going to let self-driving do its thing here. So let's go ahead and start it up, see how it handles this crazy landscape. This is wild. Let's go. We got a wipe right out of the gate. Here we go. Mad Max. And interestingly, the truck, I should say, recognized that we were in a parking lot. When I parked originally, it said street parking. Now it's switched over to parking lot. That's interesting. So it's kind of guessing, I guess, based on the destination of where we input, what type of parking it's planning on doing. So that's kind of cool. I wonder if it's correct. So it didn't turn up that driveway. It turned up this one, which has the arrow. Wow, look at that. Okay. That's funky. There's the arrow right there. Here's some speed bumps. And it saw them, slowed down. Here's a pet animal. Okay, we waved to him. Very nice. All right, so it's signaling right. Gonna go uphill again here, pretty aggressive hill. Little hump here with a drainage thing that we went over. All right. Got a car coming in here, stop sign, stopping on the hill. It's crazy that the cameras can see all of this. Like it really is phenomenal. So we got a speed bump coming up here. And it saw it. Good. I think that's the one it didn't see when we came in and just blew right over it. So that's good. It saw it on the way out. I wonder if it relies on the speed bumps to be painted or if it can kind of differentiate. I don't know, based on the height of them and that sort of thing. Be curious to know that. Here we go, heading uphill again. And we're going to go along some of these twisty streets. This is kind of a normal open street. It's splitting into that center boulevard divided street that we came up before. And Again, we are in Old Lakeway. If you ever come up to this area, you can see the street signs of the Old Lakeway are done in kind of a funky, different type of font, and they're black instead of blue. So here we have a courier truck, and the driver is waiting to get out of the vehicle. Interesting. Now, full self-driving proceeded. The driver was sitting right there. You can see him hop out of the truck. That was interesting. That was FedEx. That was very interesting. He remained in the truck and full self-driving proceeded. Here we have some workmen on the left side. All right. Yeah. Oh boy, the system is quite confident here. And we're turning up to go up another really kind of narrow roads. These are quite narrow. A lot of overgrowth. And it's still fairly confident, although it's slowing down right now. We're down to 17 miles an hour. So it's sort of looking for its way through here. There are no lane markings here right now, and this road is very skinny. Yeah. It's slowed down to 14 miles an hour because it thinks we're pulling over. Okay. So that's where we're at here. Okay, it's going over on that parking pad now. A little bit, that's much better. And it's not even set to street parking. It's set to parking lot. Wow. That's good. That's off the road. Let's check the camera. Yes. So we can see that rear tire is off the pavement entirely. So I would say that's a very successful park. Let's continue on. So we got the signal, turns the wheels, and away we go. That was good. That was very good. I mean, look at some of these driveways, man. They are so steep. Yeah. This is the place to test out FSD because, and everyone else is doing these FSD videos where they're driving on the highway. The highway's solved. It's done. It's game over. Perfect. No problem. You're wasting your time testing on the highway as far as I'm concerned. It's done. It's solved. This is the crazy stuff. This is the edge case stuff. This is what needs to be tested and demonstrated and shared with everybody. What we're doing right now is going into these weird, very odd, very unconventional roadways. That's what FSD needs to be tested on, is this type of stuff here. So blind right-hand curve coming up. The sign said 15 miles an hour. We're slowing down. Overgrowth. Let's see if it... I just was quiet there because I wanted to hear. Little brake flex there, little pop of the brake. I just felt that, but not a big deal. But I was listening to hear, oh, look at this sharp turn left. Wow. Cranking up the hill here. Yeah, I was listening to hear if there was any like brushes or branches, brushing against the side of the truck, I should say. Branches brushing against the truck. There we go. Here we are. Now we are waiting to turn right. There's nobody coming. The truck... Yep, good to go. There was a big rock at the side there, too. It steered clear of that. That was good to see. Looks like we're getting a little bit of rain, so that'll make things interesting. Yeah, okay. Seems to be finding its way okay, and you can see clearly that this road is not conventional width. You'd be hard-pressed to get two Cybertrucks side by side here. Oh, look at this. Wow. Oh, man, there's a deer walking across the road. Now, we're not going that way, but that's very interesting. Very steep grade and a deer. Interesting. Okay. We did not encounter it, therefore it is not part of our test. But we are turning right up here. Okay. Another right turn. We got some trucks, some work trucks that are hanging out onto the roadway. Look at that. It crossed us over onto the opposing lane and brought us back over. Very nice. Now we got a pedestrian walking a dog. She's pulled the dog off the road. That's great. Give her a little thank you. Very good. A lot of pedestrians through here too. That's the other thing to watch for. Got a little bit of overgrowth. It's kind of going out and around. Okay, we're pulling over once again. There's another spot. Okay, and no. We don't want to go in there. Okay, we're not going in that person's house. That was interesting. So it was waiting for that car to come before it made the left-hand turn in. Okay, that's fine. I took over because I didn't want to turn in that person's driveway. That's fine. Let's fire it up again. Start self-drive. Here we go. All right. So that was fine. That was successful. That was not a a takeover or whatever. I just didn't want to drive in their driveway. That's fine. Okay, here we go. Very steep hill, guys. You can see the lake. Whoa, little jerk on the brake there. Felt that. Just a real good punch on the brake. This is a T intersection. You can see the road is actually gouged up. And we're turning right. Wow, this is really steep. That was wild. Woo-wee. It handled it. It handled it. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Here's another real twisty road here. We got some overgrowth onto the road. Good. Steering out and around it. Yeah, I mean, it's really making use of the whole road when there's no other cars present. That's good to see. Pulling over again here. Doing a street park. Well, it's set to parking garage, which is interesting. It just put us in. Okay, so we're in the lane. It didn't pull up to that parking pad, which I think it should have. We're just literally stopped in the road completely and entirely. This is the front camera. Here's the back camera. We are on the road. So it didn't pull into that parking pad. You can see in the camera behind that green trash can, and it didn't pull into that concrete one in the front. Okay. Interesting. These are the edge cases, right? All right, here we go. Signaling. We're already in the lane, so here we go. All right. What are we doing here? No. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We want to go on this trip here. It's just pulled over again. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Interesting. Okay, so I've learned something. If you just hit self-driving, it's just going to kind of like carry on, but you need to hit continue trip so that it has to understand where it's headed to next. So let's do that. Let's go continue the trip. Interesting. So is that a software glitch? I would think if you hit self-driving, it should automatically continue the trip. Why wouldn't it continue the trip? Let's go ahead. There we go. If Autopilot team is watching this video, let's fix that, okay? When you hit full self-drive or self-driving button, just automatically continue the trip. Otherwise, it's just wandering. I shouldn't have to hit continue trip and then self-driving. It should just hit that. Why else would you be wanting to move the vehicle? And where's it going, So that's interesting. Coming up to a yield sign. This is not a stop sign. And we're not stopping. Okay, it just slowed. It did not stop the vehicle. That was really good. Okay. Yeah, so it's acutely aware of the difference between a yield and a stop sign. That is very good to see. All right. All righty. Yes, I love it. Enjoying this drive. This has been a good test, actually. This has been the most aggressive test on FSD than I've done so far, actually. I had the Model 3 Standard. That was an interesting drive. We did that at night through a bunch of construction zones from North Austin down to the southwest to a supercharger. That was a funky drive. But this, I think, is harder. This is harder for the system. We've already had some wild encounters here. So what's going on here? We've got a gated community. And does the truck see the gate? Because we can't go in here. We do not have a gate pass. Look at this, it's pulling up to the gate. We got gates here. There, now it's going in reverse. What's it doing here? Okay, it's turning. What are we doing here? Anybody have any ideas? I don't know. Is it just... Oh my gosh. Oh, it's literally going to go down and like turn around. Don't do that. Oh. What? That's okay. Let's just let it play out. See what happens here. I mean, our next destination, it's supposed to be turning up here. Not this street, but the next one. Interesting. Because it can't get to where I want it to go because it was in a gated community. So that's not the fault of FSD. It's just not allowed in there. See, we're supposed to be turning right there to go to our next stop. Where's it going? And why is it picking this? Interesting. I don't understand here. It's just driving down this road. Okay. A 7-minute drive? Okay. I don't know. Okay, well, that's the total drive. All right. Anyways, it's just, listen, it just picked this. I didn't pick this. I did nothing. I didn't do anything here. I didn't input any of this. Okay. So we're just going down this hill. That was interesting. It just went around a little bit of roadkill on the road. That was good to see. But yeah, FSD has chosen this route that we are on right now. I have not input this into the map. This, yeah, that street that we missed a few minutes ago, that was where we were supposed to end the drive. But yeah, this is very curious. So it encountered the gate, it reversed, pulled the U-turn, I guess, and let's see where we're going here. Coming up to a stop sign, and it's turning left. Okay. Turning left. Okay, and there's a car coming. There it is. So we're good. Pulling out. All clear. That was smooth. And let's see what we're doing here, because it's showing like it wants to do some sort of U-turn thing here. I don't know. Yeah, look at this. So this is the point that the software chose. It chose right here, this intersection. We're doing a U-turn. Okay. This has all been chosen by FSD. Let's see what it does. Ooh, I'm curious. What are we doing here? We're going to go all the way back up this road? I wonder. It's not going to give up. I don't know. I mean, oh man, I don't know here. This is interesting. But we are driving on a route that has been decided by the computer. Software has chosen our path here. Yes. So just imagine just pretend it's unsupervised, right? And you've just programmed the vehicle to go there. Now, to be fair, there is a gate. There is a gate. So that is not the fault of the software, to be very clear. It hasn't done anything dangerous. It's just driving around. But I'm really curious to see what it's going to do. So we're coming up to that area where it needs to turn. Like our next destination is right here. So turning left, turn. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, not that street. Yeah, okay, this is correct. Okay, so it's supposed to be turning left right here to go up to the yacht club. We're supposed to be ending. Nope, it just blew right by it. That's headed back up to the gates. I guess it wants to try it again. I don't know why it drove away so far. Like, why wouldn't it have just turned a U-turn here or somewhere? I don't know. But it wants to try again, so we're going to let it. See what it does here. This is the part where it needs to problem solve. All right, here comes the gate, guys. Now it's signaling to the right. Look at that. It's not even going down that street. Where are we going? Where? Wow, okay, so it's just turned now. And now, what? It's turning here. What? It's not even following. What? It's just adding driving. Are we in the Matrix? What's going on here? I think we're in the Matrix. I think we might be in an infinite loop here. I mean, I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. Oh, we got a delivery van up here, and we're signaling left. Okay. All right, let's go left. Here we go. Up and over. Oh my. Okay. All right, let's see. We're turning. I don't know what I don't know what's going on here. Like why is it over here in this other subdivision area when it's trying to get into that other spot? Yeah, we're up really high here. There's some water reservoirs there. That's interesting. Yeah, look, there's that person's rooftop. We are up really high. Okay. This is the place to test FSD here in the hill country. A lot of tricky roadways through here, as we're encountering right now. This is wild. Okay, we got a guy on a lawnmower, and the left here, there's a guy riding a lawnmower, and then there's a guy clearing brush on the right side. Let's watch FSD handle this. Okay, so he just waved. All right. Oh, they're cutting trees down here. This is interesting. Okay, well, he moved off the road. That was nice. Okay, we passed the lawnmower guy. All right, so now we are coming up on that delivery van we saw a minute ago. We're just coming up on the back of him now because we've done a full loop. And we're headed back. Let's see how we negotiate this delivery van here. Okay, there's a worker on crossing the street. Delivery guy. Okay, here we go. Out and around the rental van. Okay. All right. We're back over. So we've now driven, I don't know, in excess of an additional mile or two, I guess. A couple of miles, looping around the neighborhood here. Again, this is all the software right now. We are completely running on the software. Okay. Signaling left, which is where it's supposed to go. And it's waiting and it's turning. Right. Okay, here we go. Interesting. All right. Okay. And it's coming up to that stop sign. It's gonna try the gates again. Let's see what it does. This is it, guys. This is the moment we were waiting for. This is it. Oh my goodness. Here we go. It's turning. And it sees it doesn't even bother. It's just turning here automatically. Let's see what it does. It's turning. It's realized now on the second try. Okay, we're getting a wipe. Where is it going? Signaling left. Where's it going? Oh my gosh, it's doing it again. Guys, we are in an infinite loop. This is it. It's just driving. Now it's driving slower. Yeah. We're in the Matrix right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Definitely in the Matrix. It's weird that it's picking this spot to do a U-turn. Why wouldn't it just do a U-turn anywhere up here? I don't understand it. It's interesting. Got a Model X coming up behind us here. Now it's picking up a bit of speed. All right, it moved over for that little thing on the road. It did that last time we were through here. Yeah, this is very interesting. And yeah, we're just cruising. Going to come up to that stop sign. It's going to hang a left, then it's going to go down. It's going to make a U-turn. It's going to drive all the way back up, and then we're going to go loop through the neighborhood again 2 or 3 times. Go back to the gate, turn around. Like, it's just an infinite loop. That's what it's doing. So here we're waiting for that left now. Okay, we stopped. We're pulling ahead. There's a car coming. Let's see what it's going to do. Yep, it's all clear. Okie dokie. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is interesting. Where it wants to make a U-turn now, there's a guy here tuning left. Oh, it doesn't care. Doesn't care that guy was there. Okay, wow. That was assertive. Very assertive. All right, guys, I think we could be stuck in the Matrix here in Hill Country, Texas, West Austin. I think so. It is getting to know this road very well. All right. Boy, the temptation to take over is very strong right now. This is something. What would you guys do? Tell me right now, like, what would you do? Tell me in the comments below. Would you take over? Would you stop? Like, we're going for loop 2 now. Loop 3, I don't know. Loop 2? I think it's just going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And for some reason, the computer is just randomly picking, or maybe it's not random, but it's just picking that same spot where it wants to do that U-turn. I don't know. It must have different parameters where it's not allowed to do U-turns on these narrow 2-lane streets, and it needs that wider 4-lane street to do the U-turn. Maybe that's what it is. It's got certain guidelines built into the software, and we're just sitting right on the boundaries of it. That could be it. Tell me what you think. Yeah, because I am curious, very curious. Yeah, we are approaching. Yeah, that's where we're supposed to turn left, right in there. Wow. All right. Well, if this thing gets back up to that street and decides to go for another drive through that neighborhood, we are taking over. That's it. We're going to have to intervene with FSD version 14. Oh, look at this. Ew, look at this. What's going to happen here? Okay, somebody just went through the gates and it's signaling right. What's going on here? Okay, so it sees the gates are open. The gates have opened. We slid in behind somebody. Oh my goodness. Okay, honestly, that's funny. So FSD version 14.2.1 got a lucky break. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. The road is splitting and one side's going up. Wow, this is interesting. This is very different. Okay. Well, here we are, guys. We're this was unexpected. I thought for sure we were getting turned around, and here we are. We're inside the gated area with FSD. It's driving us through. Oh my. Yeah. Wow. This is funny. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's garbage day in here. All right. taking us all the way down to the end here. These are interesting how they've got split streets. So the way out is coming this way, and there's kind of like a separate higher area here. We've got some work vehicles here, just squeezing by. And okay, well, I think I put the pin on this person's property, but I'm going to take over and not allow it to go on their property. Unless it's just going to turn. And it is. Okay. Whoa, no. Okay, take over. Oh, yeah. Okie dokie. That was great. Okay, good enough. All right. Wow. Okie dokie. Whew. Yeah. So that was that. So, all right. Whew. So let's just rework things. All right, so it's finished that. Let's continue the trip. Start self-driving. Let's go. Okay, that was funky. Let's get out of here. All right. Whew. Okay. That was exciting. Yeah, very exciting. All right, let's see if this thing is gonna go up to this restaurant, and I'd like it to park itself. Let's just start a fresh trip. Let's just go end the trip. Let's go Canyon Grill. That is looks like a restaurant or something here, and we'll just retarget that as a fresh destination. See how it does. Here we go. It's a one-way, so it says the words one-way. No arrows painted on it though. We got a delivery guy on the right. Gave him some space. That's good to see. And speed limit 30 miles an hour. Very good. A little bit of light rain on the windscreen here. Now we're coming up to the gates. I think we just kind of roll up to it. Let's see how FSD handles the gates. They're automatically opening. It has slowed down, allows them to open, and then accelerates through. That was smooth. Beautiful. Excellent. That was great. Good. A little wipe. All right. Let's spray some juice on that windscreen. All right. I don't know if that made it worse or not. Okay. Now we're going back down that same road where it wanted to do that U-turn and whatnot before, but this time we're turning at the correct spot. Oh my goodness, finally. Slowing down, turning in, nice and tight, good. These are narrow lanes. Very good. Yeah, a lot of overgrowth here, but it seems to be handling it. There's some deer, actually. Let's get the front camera going here, just in case. I just saw a deer on the left side there, but they were not coming towards the road. They were actually going the other way, so did not impact us at all. And we're coming down a hill to curve to the right. FSD is proceeding confidently. Let's see what it does here. So there's a parking lot here. So it is set to parking lot. So that's actually the parking lot. We just drove past it. There are a couple spots down here. Let's see what it tries to do. Okay. So this looks like a circular cul-de-sac thing. It's a handicap parking spot there. Car parked in the driveway here. That's a handicap spot. This says no parking. It says strictly enforced, all vehicles will be towed. There's a sign that says no parking. That sign right there. I guess FSD doesn't realize this is strictly no parking. There's actually a guy waiting right now to walk up to me and tell me that there's no parking here. So the vehicle has parked incorrectly. There is no parking permitted here, no public parking. And FSD has parked in that spot where it's not supposed to park. So let's drop a pin up in this parking lot. Let's see if we can do that. And start self-driving. And so we are going to route out of here up to the parking lot. Let's see if it parks up there. Here we go. So this is really what it should have done, because it parked wrongfully, illegally in that spot. Very large signs saying no parking. So that's an issue. And I had that problem in 14.2, just regular 14.2 with a Model S. It parked illegally in Austin. And now we're on 14.2.1, and that still seems to be a problem. So here we are. We're pulling into a parking spot. Here we go. Let's see how FSD 14.2.1 handles a parking spot here. Let's see how it's going to handle this spot here. We got some brush here. No, it's good. That's good. Good. Okay, wow. That was a wild ride. I mean, okay, so this is the very latest, the very greatest that Tesla is offering right now. The highway's solved, guys. There's no issue. You can go drive highways for days and days and days without intervention. You're going to have people, I drove 1,000 miles on FSD 14.2. Okay, great. Good for you. Good for you, buddy. Okay. You come out to the tricky edge cases like we just encountered today, where the vehicle gets confused, where it completely makes up its own routing, like to go down and make U-turns and continue on these like vicious loops and get caught in the matrix and all that sort of thing. That's what we want tested, and that's what we did. It made some incredible, amazing maneuvers, like absolutely amazing. But there's just some fine tuning, I think. And I'd love for you guys to share in the comments what you thought about the video, what you thought about the maneuvers, what you thought about it, you know, continuing to try. We got lucky on that gate, but on the exit was amazing. And coming to this parking lot that we're in right now, you know, when it routed to this location, rather than going to that main entrance cul-de-sac thing, like what should it be doing? I don't know. Like, should it be going to the parking lot? We don't have Banish yet, so it's not like it's dropping me off at the front door and then going to the parking lot by itself. Hopefully we're going to get there very soon. So 14.2.1, phenomenal. We did it in Cybertruck. I'm very impressed with it, but there's definitely some fine tuning. So I would be thrilled if the autopilot team is watching this right now and they're able to get some data from this, get some information. I am 100% behind the program. I'm fully stoked to see this thing get built out. Really excited to see the improvements along the way. Hopefully there's some way for it to understand signs when it can read those signs and say no parking and that sort of thing. I think that's important. But other than that, some really incredible driving, like really wild. I was convinced when I was thinking about doing this drive, and I was like, man, I think it's going to get the side. Of course it is stainless steel, but I was guaranteed myself that this thing was going to get scraped with some branches, and not once. So I was very impressed by that. Anyways, we're going to continue to be doing some testing as they bring out new versions. Guys, tell me in the comments below what you want to see in these videos, what you enjoyed, what you didn't like. Give me your feedback. Always looking to improve. We got a ton more exciting stuff coming to the channel here, so make sure you subscribe to Josh West 24/7. And that's it for this video, guys. We'll see you in the next one.